players who are able to neutralize entire halves of the field and keep quarterbacks from looking in that direction. So yes, you have these big offenses, but at the same time, like, there's defenders here who can really close the gap and like change the pace of the game.
Now, Jordan Lessard did not play in the first game against this team here when Big Fat Bats played against No Friend Zone. You mentioned him. How big of an influence will he be, and should Iggy avoid him at all costs?
Oh, very much so. I'm of the opinion that Jordan Lessard is one of the best up-and-coming defenders, best young up-and-coming defenders in FPF. I've played with him in Division B this past spring, so I've seen what he can do firsthand, and I can tell you that it's a mistake. He can close the gap. Not only can he pick off a ball, but he can then bring it back to the end zone with lightning speed.
Well, it's going to be lightning speed here, and we'll see how this plays out now as we get ready for the first play of the game between Big Fat Bats and No Friend Zone. It will be Iggy Valdez-Manzanato, who had 47 touchdowns this year, and he just won a championship in his other division. Was fantastic, 74% passing, GM. How smart will they have to be, Big Fat Bats, to really be patient and not try to give too much away from to kind of slice and dice this defense?
Yeah, so it's curious because you look at the completion percentage, and not only that high in the regular season, but over 80% in the playoffs, but he's still averaging over a first down per completion. So it's hyper efficient, but he's still getting a ton of yardage at the same time.
The first play of the game, and we're underway here in Brossard. It is Manzanato looking deep, far right, and that is deflected, intended for number 27 for the No Friend Zone, and that is
that's Lucas
Canville, who's wearing number 27, not number 31 this time around here, but that was a ball that was almost picked off by the Big Fat Bats defense.
Yeah, you need to be better there. I think that's Sam De Tiello, who was the defender closing the gap.
LaRoche with the catch and a quick tackle right there for about a 6-yard gain. So right away, we're seeing Manzanato use the quick offense here. Valdez-Manzanato, who had a really good season this year. And we talk about this defense for Big Fat Bats here. They can pilfer the football. In fact, they had two players that had 4 INTs or better this past season.
Yeah. They had a huge interception game against Les Petites Carottes. They've overcome adversity, beating teams that they lost to in the regular season as well in Rico Riders.
And that's the first catch right there for Felix Boutte, who had 39 catches in the regular season. That's enough for a first down. They're in the plus territory for the first time today. Opening 2 minutes of play from Brossard, Quebec. Big Fat Bass, No Friend Zone. Still 0-0. GM Clarthus Mocon here on this Saturday evening as we look to crown a champion in about an hour's time from now, as Valdez-Manzanato looks like he's locked in. High snap looking for the middle. LaRoche's second catch of the day, and he tackles right away for about a 3-yard gain. And we're starting to see him really use the entire field, inside, outside, outside, inside.
Yeah, hyper efficient, and right now you just continue to give what you're being given by the defense right now. I'm looking at the field. I don't see Jordan Lessard on the field right now.
That is true. He is not on the field yet. Perhaps he will join us at some point here. AJ Zapatelli is the guy to watch out for. He's playing center field. He had 4 INTs, 13 tackles, 5 PDs, and that might be the matchup with him and Valdez-Manzanato. Looking towards the left. That is caught slant in, and that is going to be inside the red zone. And that's caught by the sure-handed Alex Pelletier, who had 18 catches during the regular season and was a force in the semifinal win against the Process on Monday night.
Yeah, Anthony Pelletier, big touchdown there in the previous game as well. Iggy starting to look a little bit more poised now, just coming off of a championship in Division 4. A strong outing, and it looks like it's carrying him here.
11 times to score 33-plus points. So if you're in the gambling world, the over might be the play today.
Very, very much so. You mentioned the quality of both of these offenses.
And now we'll see what happens again. They lost to Big Fat Bats 45-26. Inside the red zone. Looking towards the left.
Right in the middle.
LaRoche with the fingertip grab, and he's gobbled up right away by Giacomo Donato, and that will be his second goal come up here for the No Friend Zone attack.
Yeah, Big Fat Bats now are going to have to make some adjustments. It looks like this isn't their usual defense. They all have to huddle back right now. They're trying to figure out what's going on. These matchups, I think you need to find a man matchup at this point.
Well, it's more fascinating. They won 45-26 without Jordan Lessard. So it's not like they missed him dearly in this situation, but we'll see now in this second round between these two teams here. inside the 3-yard line. And here is Valdez Mazzaretto. Short pass, LaRoche, first strike, and they have liftoff. And it is a 6-0 lead. LaRoche had 3 TDs during the regular season. That's a big one, and they're up 6-0.
Yeah, his name hasn't been called very much in the playoffs, but that's exactly what you want from someone just flying under the radar. Just being open there, hitting those slants from the center.
And now the critical extra point attempt here. This is going to be key, Gio. When you think about these extra point attempts, we talk about both teams scoring at a high clip, box office offenses that we are going to witness today. It might come down to a 1-point convert or a 2-point convert that wins this matchup.
Yeah, trips here.
Valdez Mazzaretto looking towards the left, launching back line, deflected and caught with ease by Jerome Hovington, who had 24 catches during the regular season and makes it an 8-0 lead for the no friend zone attack.
That connection was very popular in the previous game. Iggy and Hovington were just very, very in sync. This is a name that we're going to be saying, I presume, a whole lot this evening.
Well, speaking of names, Matthew Zappitelli, who had over 2,000 yards passing and rushing this year, 43 touchdowns, 71% passing clip this year for Zappitelli, and of course, all reliable AJ Zappitelli in the left slot. And this is the first play looking towards left slant, caught in. Lucchesi now up ahead to the center of the field, flagging the play, and this might be flag guard against the Big Fat Bats attack.
Yeah, that's killer. Just a quick catch there, able to take it up for a lot of yardage, but dipped a little bit too low. Jack Nudie there throwing the flag for flag guarding.
The hair flow looking on point for Luca Lucchesi in this matchup today. He might have the best flow of hair in this game when you think about it.
Yeah, had 10 receptions throughout these playoffs. Has been just a key point of moving the chains for his team downfield.
He might be key point on defense, 17 sacks during the regular season. Here is a first down repeat, in and out. AJ Zappitelli, he's hooked, and he's going to get called for a flag on the defense by Kenville. That would be more than enough for a first down. But that's a big play to open up that no friend zone defense.
Yeah, I think that's Kenville right there with a bit of a hold trying to get the flag. That balances out now. They've got the first down that they would have had on the previous play.
You talk about both teams having the flamboyance, the box office flair to this game here. And you talk about the quicksilver, AJ Zappitelli, that left slot back. He's a guy that has always been reliable during the regular season, 57 catches. In fact, he had almost half the catches from the passing completions from Matthew Zappitelli.
Yeah. 4 touchdowns in the playoffs is nothing to shake your head at either. That's a key part of that offense.
And another jab step up ahead, and now that will be inside the plus territory for the first time today. Kenville on the tackle, and this will be a 2nd and short coming up here for the Big Fat Bats, who, again, we talk about their offense here, GM, what they did. 11 times they scored 28-plus points. Their lone loss was to Rico Riders 45-18, which they got the revenge on in the semifinal on Wednesday, I believe Monday night, beg your pardon, in Papineau. 2nd and short. Zappitelli slant. Lucchesi now up ahead, and he is going to be taken out this time by Peltier. And this should be close to a first down. It will be short of a first down, so it will be now a nose or a head before they can perhaps get the first down.
Zappitelli either must see something he likes on that left side, or he's just far more comfortable right now going to that side. I think that's also with the absence of Lessard on this offense. But we'll see if they make some adjustments on the defensive side for no friend zone, or if they're going to keep leaving those short to the left open.
Zappitelli taking off to the left, and he will get more than enough for a first down. Kenville on the tackle. And now you're starting to see this quicksilver coming out of his feet, making that first down here. And now they're moving the sticks quite efficiently. In fact, Zappitelli went 16 of 19 for 177, 6 touchdowns against this no friend zone defense. So we'll see if they can continue with that high clip that he had a few weeks ago.
Very, very mobile here. Again, looking to his left side. Let's see if that's something that's going to continue. Now we're seeing the receivers shift where they were on the offense as well.
Lucchesi now is the right receiver holding the width on the far end. Zappitelli, high snap, looking towards the left, plenty of time. Middle, caught, up ahead, and that will be close. Knocking the doorstep is number 99 and Coriali, who had 25 catches for 3 touchdowns. And they are now literally at the borderline of perhaps scoring 6 or being stopped.
Yeah, that's what you need from your center at that point. Like, just give you confidence, march the ball down the field, and punch it in for a touchdown now.
And now in the red zone for the first time, 13:42 left here in this first half of play, beg your pardon. 8-0 lead for no friend zone. Zepatelli has looked good so far, has been efficient, looking now to punch it in for 6. Rolling to his left, short pass, incomplete, almost picked up by Peltier, who was in the same postal code of that football but could not get his hands on it cleanly.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wanted that ball right there. Like, it looked like whoever was the intended target didn't want to reach for it. Peltier kind of got in the way of it, but wasn't thinking interception, was just thinking to disrupt. Nobody really wanted it.
Well, now you have to figure for this Big Fat Bass offense, can they get the first points of their account? Looking to open up and get this down to perhaps a 2-point gap before the extra point convert. Zepatelli, base formation, high snap, loose ball. That's a loss of real estate, and the first error by this Big Fat Bats offense comes at a cost of lost real estate, and now they're going to be pushed back right at the 10-yard line of where they're positioned.
This is really tough, having to take the 4th down now, being down 8. In your own red zone as well, I presume. This is a must convert touchdown here early on. I think that the game is going to slip away from them if they don't.
Well, that's what you have to look for now. The currency is touchdowns, and they are in a deep hole here with 12:24 left in this first half. Zepatelli looking, dialing, waiting, pumping, going to the left, incomplete, well defended by Alex Noel. Intended for A.J. Zepatelli, and this will be a turnover on downs, as you said before, the first strike going towards no friend zone.
Very much so, and it's early in the game, but it's becoming more and more evident that Zepatelli is a lot more comfortable throwing to his left side than he is to his right now, and that's something that I think that no friend zone are going to key in on shortly.
And now you can smell the blood in the water. They're hunting and hounding. Iggy Valdez-Manzanato is feeling it right now. The tails are up for this no friend zone offense to perhaps go up by 2 scores and maybe, just maybe 2 full scores of 16 points if they do hit on the touchdown and 2-point convert. They do opt for that option.
I like Boutet here. Let's see.
Slant left, caught Peltier. That's been his all reliable. It's almost a telepathy with those two guys and how they throw that ball and catch at the right point here. And you're just seeing really Iggy trying to just chisel his way through in this defense so far.
Yeah, great body positioning. Like you said, it's something that's reliable to the two of them. It's the connection between the receiver and the receiver and the QB. Just that chemistry is paramount, especially in the finals.
11:08 left in this first half of play. 8-0 lead, and for no friend zone, looking to go up by 2 scores as we approach the halfway point of this first half from Brossard, Quebec. Valdez-Manzanato looking towards the left, pumping, looking to the left sideline. That's caught, open space, and away they go, and that's going to be 6 and a 14-0 lead. Rather easily executed and looking silky. Jerome Hovington again finding his way through for 6.
Yeah. So my feedback in the previous game for Diamond Bougie were make some adjustments because Hovington ate them up, and I feel like I'm going to be repeating myself here. There needs to be a game plan specifically to limit Hovington right now.
And of course, it is a 14-0 lead, not an 8-6 lead for those who are watching on the scoreboard there. With 10:18 left here in this first half of play. And they are going to go for 1. So they're going for the 1-point convert here.
Hovington with 4 touchdowns in the playoffs thus far, now making it 6. Convert is no good. Looks like Hovington was the target there yet again.
And now with this being what it is, a 14-0 lead. So damage limitations early on here for Big Fat Bats. But right now they have to get things organized. 9:45 left here in this first half. Jim Clare after Smoke Con on this Saturday evening here. And, of course, for Big Fat Bats, they now have to find their way through, score this next drive, and hopefully figure out a turnover or 2 if they can figure it out.
Yeah, he's got to find something that he likes. That quick slant off the left. Let's look at a slant to AJ here to start the drive off.
Pumping, looking, pivoting, rolling to the right. Now going to take off. Peltier devours him along the near sidelines for about a 3, if not 4-yard gain, and that was excellent textbook defense. Take away option 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah,
you saw him like visibly go through his reads there and decide he didn't want any of that and just take off with his feet.
And now with that, a 14-0 lead, south of 9 here in this first half of play. And now for this no friend zone, can they deny the moment for Big Fat Bats and keep this at a donut for them in the first 2 possessions of their offensive efforts? Short snap, slant left, up in the air, deflected through a sea of hands. Lechese was the intended target.
Then
and
yeah,
got
then
deflected.
Keenville got there as well. Sam Detello, everyone had a hand on that ball on the left side of the field, and nobody came down with it.
You have a hand on it. I have a hand on it. And it was a lot of hands, but no completion. It'll be incomplete. And you have to wonder, maybe he's getting a little bit twitchier now than before.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely mounting. You're facing a juggernaut opponent with a core who have just come off of a championship in the previous game, and as a couple of other players who played against them.
Zabatelli looking towards the left,
That post.
rocking that ball through along the near left sideline. Noel on the tackle, and that will be probably for about 8 yards on the plus territory for this drive here, south of 8, with 14 at the lead in the back pocket, no friend zone.
Here, if we're able to see that replay here, look at that left slot. Sam Detello, who was just like open on a post that just wasn't capitalized on.
7:45 left here in this first half of play, and now for this offense led by Big Fat Bats here, Matthew Zabatelli, 43 touchdowns passing, and he had 3 rushing, so 45 combined. They ran through the playoffs and now have hit a wall, and they're going. Rolling to his right, taking a 2-step left, now taking off towards the near side, going up ahead, and Kenville in on the tackle. That should be enough for a first down with 7:25 left in this first half.
Yeah, so rusher Sébastien Dufour is having a little bit of trouble containing Zabatelli right now. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a few more rushes from Lucas Canville, but I don't think it's necessary right now while no friend zone still maintain this strong lead.
Well, for Iggy Valdez-Manzanero, they set the standards of a 2-score lead, and now for Big Fat Bass trying to catch up to the standard of at least 1 score and hopefully trying to create some parity if they can get to this game, if they get the game tied up at some point in this matchup here. Base formation again. AJ Zabatelli, the left slot back, Lechese also the right slot back of this formation. Looking, rolling to his right, popping, stopping. Zabatelli, drop ball, incomplete. Kenville in on the tackle, and that will be another rare miscue again. As you get closer and closer towards the red zone here, GM, this not finding the same ingredients required to have that successful recipe.
No friend zone are leaving that middle of the field open a little bit. It looked like Curiel there, right in the middle, had no one around him, just a hook from your center.
And you have to wonder now if that's starting to play tricks on their mind here. Lechese now the right slot back again.
There, it's open again.
Waiting, looking, going to the sidelines, and a sack coming through on that. Seb Dufour, who had 8 sacks during the regular season, and that's a big one right there. And then now they're moving backwards again as they approach the red zone, and this is not something that they want to do. Not in their playbook. Plan A has gone out the window, and Plan B might be out the window as well.
Yeah, that's twice now on 2 different drives where they're taking a 4th down and more than 10 yards where they've lost yardage in the play before. That's brutal.
You have to wonder now if they're going to start manning the panic stations if they don't score points. And we're not even at the expiration of this first half, and they could be down at least 2 scores, if not 3, if they don't hit this here with 5:30 left in this first half of play. The power formation out to the left for Zabatelli. Looking towards the left, waiting, backing, going to the right, and that ball is sent to the St. Lawrence River. And with 5:19 left here, you can just start to see this offense really starting to be in cement, not really getting out of this mistake that they've created for themselves.
Yeah, they don't seem to be as down on themselves. Sam Detello going back to Zabatelli there, rubbing his shoulders, just helping him shake it off as best as he can. We need to see a defensive turnover here in order for this game to stay close. Otherwise, Big Fat Bats are going to lose sight of this very quickly.
Disjointed start for Big Fat Bats. A flying start for no friend zone. And now they're looking to put the hammer to this nail. And for Big Fat Bats, can they come up with some sort of tonic to get out of this hex that they're in? Valdez Manzanero, plenty of time. Deep middle. And picked off. And at the right moment, they get that pick off right there. Giannini with that, and he had 190 during the regular season, and he just took away that ball, as we'll see from the replay coming up.
2 interceptions in the playoffs. That's now his 3rd. Finally an adjustment, because Hovington was that target once again, and it was a tightly contested ball there. They both had hands on it, and he just holds on longer.
And you have to wonder if maybe there was too much air on that pass that let the ball hang for a split second more, and that resulted in a turnover for Big Fat Bats, which comes at a key moment for them in this game of Monopoly. They are now in the shadows of their end zone, about 4 yards deep is Zabatelli. Quick push pass and a quick tackle by Pelche for about 2 yards, just shy of the 5-yard line on the football field.
I mean, it gets him out of his own end zone, but I think that he has time to not throw such a desperate chest pass.
And again, let's not forget, this is a situation where they will get the ball for the start of the second half here. So they have clock plus 5 plays to score, and they will get the ball back. Zappatelli. Time.
Ugh.
Sidearm pass.
Wow, he caught
and
that.
AJ Zappatelli in. And again, they're picking on Pelche's side here. And that was sort of like a submarine baseball pass that he made.
Yeah, and just the way he even brought it in with one hand, I did not think that was going to be a completion, but they've been able to get themselves out of their own end zone. They can capitalize with a first down here and ultimately a touchdown and minimize how much first half possession that no friend zone will still have.
Well, they've been browsing. They've been browsing for points here, and they've come up empty so far as they're south of 3 as making it flip now. I just have to tell you the width on the left of the formation in this base attack.
A lot of pre-snap movement.
And a quick hook, and Noel in the tackle on AJ Zappatelli just shy of the first down marker. And now this will be a first down confirmed with 2:42 left here. So they're keeping with the game plan here, not going too desperate here, trying to go deep balls. But do you think they might have to stretch to open this defense and go with the deep ball at some point?
I mean, I guess so. Like, you want to keep the ball out of no friend zone's hands, but at the same time, when you're down 14-0, you have to make something work here.
Clock is rolling. Zappatelli pumping, rolling, sacked. Big sack again coming through. Seb Dufour once again finding his way to the quarterback, and now another lost yards. Third time this first half they've had lost yards.
Yeah, he's paying a little bit too much attention to the rusher there. It's just, it's hard to read a defense when you're worried about shaking the thorn in your side.
And right now it has been a personal cost for them. They have not been able to get themselves here, and you have to wonder for Matthew Zappatelli, can he just refocus his mind as we're now 150 left in this first half. Looking, waiting, deep. That's a duck ball. That's picked off. Kenville is off and running. 1 man to beat, and he's got 6.
That is the exact opposite of what you need to do. That's really going to be a point that we look back on of, oh, maybe this is where it really went awry.
And I beg your pardon, that's Felix Boutte in on the pick, and that's his second pick 6 of the season. He had one during the regular season, and now a 20-point lead. They are running riots, and a deluge with no friend zone has been far too problematic for this Big Fat Bats team so far today.
Yeah, no friend zone had 3 interceptions in the semifinals against the Process, and that ended up being what drove the game out of hand. 20-0 lead is not insurmountable, but it's tough. I think they absolutely need to score before the half is over and then make the most of the second half.
And right now, Big Fat Bats are in deep red ink. Back end zone, deflected by AJ Zappatelli, intended for Boutte. And now, this is no longer a homework assignment, it's now an exam assignment here for this Big Fat Bats team. But Matthew Zappatelli's had some questionable throws, and you saw in the last play, he threw a duck ball, and he was punished for that. It was clinical and ruthless by that no friends defense.
Yeah, without a doubt. You have to learn from that. You have to make sure you're not making errant throws that are going to cost you. Right in the middle, snap.
Cheze,
Nope.
And this is going to be close. And they're going to call a completed pass here. We'll get a replay on this coming up. And with 10 seconds left, would you want to challenge that if you are no fan zone? Here we go. Here's the replay right here.
I don't know if I'd challenge it just in case the onside kicks are – it's hard to see whether he maintained control behind the net.
So 5 plays is called in, and now they will not challenge it. They're going to play the percentages here with 5 plays to go. Jim Clarthus Mo on this Saturday night. 20-0 lead for no friend zone. Short pass right. That's caught rolling and stumbling and bumbling. And up ahead is number 21 for Big Fat Bats and Giacomo Donato. And that, again, was not his prime target. He only had 9 catches in the regular season, but now he's inching closer towards the red zone.
Look, that's enough for a first down. That's what you need. Minimize the amount of time that no friend zone are going to have with the ball in the first half. Score. You have to score, though.
4 plays left in this first half. There might be a second half show, a second half team here for this Big Fat Bass offense. Short pass again to Cheze. Tried to pull a little hip move, and he was taken out this time by Kenville, that is, beg your pardon. And now they're getting closer, and this is where we saw the scene of the crime play out. Last 2 trips, a critical botch snap and sack, and they were 4 and out.
You just have to hope it's not third down right now.
Well, there's 3 plays left.
Yeah.
And now we'll see what they have. So there's not much options here. It's route 1, and that's scoring a touchdown before it's over in this first half.
Right in the
Zappatelli
middle.
Pressure, sliding, evades. He's got time
There's no one
now,
to throw to.
and that is deflected and picked off. And once again, Jerome Hovington has been a nightmare, and a first down has been restored for no friend zone as they hold serve on defense, and they keep it to a 20-0 lead. And you have to wonder now, for Big Fat Bats, what do they have to do to reverse the curse on them in this first half?
So Zeppatelli shook the rusher. He shook Boutet and moved to his right, but there was no one to throw to.
It's like as if everyone stopped running. That's what it looked like initially here. So with 2 plays left, we believe, in this first half, you would have to imagine for Valdez Manzanato, he might just play half the field and try to go for Hail Mary from maybe the midfield point. He doesn't have the Kevin Wyeth rocket arm to go that far.
Only assuming unless someone else drops to halfback at this point will we see a bomb. Otherwise, exactly that, just like hook on the left.
And deep pass instead, and that will get them close to midfield. And a great catch this time by Boutet. And now this makes it a much easier Hail Mary attempt here, with this perhaps being the last play of this first half.
Zeppatelli was a half step behind that, and he was closing fast. I think if he was able to diagnose that a little bit sooner, I think he would have been able to get that ball right back and give himself one play in the red zone. But not the case.
Right now, the Kings of the Manor is going to be no friend zone going into halftime. And for Big Fat Bats, a team in chaos at halftime. And perhaps looking to smell like roses by the end of this game, or if they can come back with a run. And this will be early movement. And who will this flag be against? And it looks like it's going to go against no friend zone, because by the reaction of Iggy Valdez,
yeah, I think it's
Manzanato.
Campbell.
And so let's move back 5, and perhaps a little bit difficult in the degree of trying to get that touchdown percentage in their favor here, with this being the last play of this first half.
You're up 20-0 at this point. If it's not there, take the sack. Don't force it. I don't know. Who do you like here, Mo?
Well, you have to go with Felix Boutet. He's been their guy. And you have to wonder that with him, where he's lined up on the right of the formation, the power formation with Kenville as well. Last play of the first half. LaRoche skying up there, and he is going to be taken out. And at the end of the first half, it is no friend zone 20. Big Fat Bats 0 in this first half here from Brossard, Quebec.
Not an ideal start for Big Fat Bats right now. We're not up to speed on what the absence of Jordan Lessard is, if it was planned or not, but that decimates a team at this point, like having your top playmaker on both sides of the ball missing.
It's a big loss. That is a central figure for both sides of the football here. They're down 3 scores. They should get the ball back to open up this second half here. We've talked about it before. He's gone, Matthew Zeptelli's gone short, but he's not gone deep yet with that ball. Does he need to stretch out this defense here to kind of keep them on their heels a little bit?
Very much so. The defense will start creeping closer and closer, not seeing that there's a lot of deep passes, and that's when you really need to zip it and unload. And I think you also need to practice those deep passes, because if for them to be successful, they're going to have to convert an onside kick at this point, and getting it to the half on one play when you're not really averaging a lot of deep passes is not likely.
I think the MVP of this game has been the no friend zone defense.
Yeah, very much so. And maybe even the rush at this point, like being able to get Zeppatelli out of his comfort zone and make those turnovers and bad passes and those losses on third downs and putting them really behind the 8 ball on fourth down.
And now looking towards the second half here, if you're Iggy Valdez Manzanato, how do you approach your offensive output? Because you're up by 3 scores. Not to say you have to play prevent offense here, but how do you approach now your next drive to perhaps maintain a 3-score lead, if not a 4-score advantage?
Just take your time.
And he does that, though.
Quiet huddle. You're quiet. You're taking as much time as you can, drawing down the clock. You see that the timer is counting down, and you're trying to just like make the most of it.
And he's notorious for those 8-minute drives. And that could be a backbreaker here for Big Fat Bats if they don't score in their first drive, and he does and kills off 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's it, right? If the first drive takes them a lot of time and they don't score, they're going to lose out because time is just slipping at this point.
All right, a key player for either side. Who has to step up for Big Fat Bats in the second half?
Who has to step up for big fat bats in the second half is Zeppetelli at this point. Like when
Which one, Matthew or AJ?
Matthew.
Very well.
You want your QB to be comfortable and to sling those passes. And if he has that poise and that confidence, everything else comes easier.
All right, as we move now back towards the field level here with this game, as we go back over, for no friend zone, who has to step up just to maintain this 3-score lead that they have?
To maintain this 3-score lead, I'd like to see either an Alex Noel interception or Boutet as well has had solid games on the offensive side, but I want to see a little bit more defensive play.
Well, we are 22-5 away from crowning the 5A champions right now. It's been a 5A start for No Friend Zone. It's been a failing start, a bit of a twitchy start here for Big Fat Bats. But they're going to make a run now. It starts on this opening play, this opening drive here. Can they find the vibrancy and freedom? They have to abandon the caution development now and try and get back at least the first score, and we'll go from there.
Waiting for the whistle to start the game. Are we short an official?
No, we're not. We're underway here. Second half, first play. Zeppetelli.
Oh,
Short. Lichese with that catch, and that'll be for about 3-4 yards on that play.
the tail again from that right slot on a corner. I don't know if he was running a corner or a post corner, but he had that opening, and I don't think that Zeppetelli's seeing it right now.
Quick snap again. No huddle almost. Rolling past out, and he's struck out on that play. Sack coming through once more. Seb DeForce had a hat trick. He might be your MVP in this matchup.
Yeah, it's looking more and more like that for me. I think if you're running a no huddle like that, why are you that disorganized? He had trouble finding his receivers there. He had to roll out, and that's when the sack happened. But if you're running a no huddle offense at that point, everyone has to be on the same page.
They are thirsting for a touchdown, and they've been famished so far in this first half going to the second half. Cross play. AJ Zeppetelli, he's taken out this time, quickly tackled by number 27, Luca Canville. And again, this the short passes, the real estate not there, and they're just coming in droves, tackling every pink player on the roster.
Yeah, I think that Zeppetelli is outside his comfort zone right now, and he's not sure how to adapt.
They took a blow to the jaw in the first half. Perhaps the second half could be a change of fortunes for them. And now with about 20-30 left in this second half. Looking deep left. Great catch by AJ Zeppetelli. Noel in on the tackle. That'll be enough for a first down just at the midfield point of this football territory as we approach 20 left in this second half.
Great body positioning there. There was no way that Alex Noel, even though he was closing and had the right instincts, there was no way he was going to separate Zeppetelli from that ball.
Again, no huddle for Zeppetelli. Short pass. It's a one-hopper. It was a sinking ball that he threw. And this will be a second down coming up here for Big Fat Bats.
Yeah, he's not looking at his center at all, and I feel that every so often he's just got that easy hook in the middle that you take it if it's there. I know you're comfortable throwing to your brother, and you want to get the ball in your playmaker's hands, but if it's open, it's open.
South of 20 in the second half. Looking for the slant. He's got it. AJ Zeppetelli, and he's taken out again, this time by Kenville. And you think about it right now, it's maybe a double move could work. You do a slant left and up. Maybe you catch no friend zone flat-footed, but they've kept with their principles, and so far the principles have not worked to their advantage.
Yeah, like he's just fed the ball to the same receiver back to back to back, and on that last play it was a gain of a yard, maybe?
At best. Looking towards left, short left. That is incomplete for AJ Zeppetelli. Kenville in on the coverage, and now I believe it's fourth down. You had a fresh set of downs here, and you said it before, a yard gain in this last few plays.
Yeah, he's got to start looking at someone else as well. I know that's where you get your confidence and you get the momentum, but if the defense is going to start keying in on both Zeppetellis, there's really nothing left.
And right now they have not had anything of desire so far. Zeppetelli's pirouetting now towards his right, close down, throwing, and that is caught, incomplete. And a turnover of downs, and they are now 4 for 4. And I don't mean that in a good way, of being 0 for 4 in points
They
scored.
are 4 for 4 for being 0 for 4. Okay. Yeah, this is starting to feel desperate. I don't know what they need to do at this point to make some adjustments besides.
Well, you can just see right now by the body expressions, they're just looking up to the football gods, the heavens, trying to figure out what can they do to get back in this football game with 18-14 left here in this second half. They're deep in the ashes trying to rise from it, and right now for Iggy Valdez-Manzanao, he can put them to death. Trying to tighten another screw in this game here. La Roche evades one, tackled by AJ Zapatelli. As they tighten the screws on this game here, they are now inching closer and closer towards the red zone, which I believe now they're inside the red zone with 17:50 left in this game.
Yeah, so going into this game, neither center had big games so far in the playoffs, but it's just the adjustments that are being made right now. Like Iggy's seeing that his center is being left wide open there, and at that point you just keep hitting LaRoche there. Just tell him, snap the ball, take a couple steps, and turn around if it's going to keep being there.
Quizzical so far for Big Fat Bats because they won 45-26 in the first encounter, and right now they're down 20-0 in the second half. Looking for the kill shot. Caught by Noel and tackled just shy of the goal line, and this will be now second and goal coming up here for No Friend Zone with 17:05 left in this second half.
Yeah, great catch on the sidelines by Alex Noel. Right now, Big Fat Bats just trying to figure something out here, switching it up on defense, changing their matchups, hoping for something.
And it is almost like a torture now with the way they're milking the clock here. Slow burn for this offense for No Friend Zone. High snap.
Great catch, Iggy.
Back end zone. Better catch right there. And the touchdown coming in. Boutte skying up there. Acrobatic and emphatic on that touchdown. 26-0 lead.
That's gross. That's absolutely gross. And just that high point extension, keeping his feet in, presence of knowing where that blue line was in the back of the end zone, just gross on all accounts. Let's see that on the replay.
We'll hopefully get a replay on that play right there, but that was acrobatic and emphatic. The science meaning the arts in that play, the arts and crafts, whatever you want to term you want to use to describe that play, that was a highlight reel, and that might put this game over the hills, heading home with a victory for No Friend Zone.
I'll use my words to describe that play because I can't physically.
For the extra point attempt, left corner, and that had too much depth on that pass. So the good news is for No Friend Zone, they're up by a score of 26-0. The bad news is for Big Fat Bats, they're down by
26-0.
So not much to be done here, GM, and how they can get back in this football game. They're going to have to score, onside kick it, and pray for at least 2 more turnovers if they hit on the first 2 objectives of points.
Yeah. At this point, find something. Send someone on a fly that you haven't thus far. Do something different.
Now they're going deep left. That's a duck ball, and Noel will devour that, flagging the play. They'll add more yards, and you can definitely say this game is now all but wrapped up for No Friend Zone, up by a score 26-0 with 15 minutes left in this game.
Who did I want to see come up with an interception in the second half?
Alex Noel.
Ah, here we go. Yeah, at this point now,
So legal contact called on Big Fat Bats. They'll move up the sticks here. And for them right now, they're oozing with intent. And there is no solution from the defense from Big Fat Bats in this game.
the officials, the referees in the stands right here, the peanut gallery, if you will, getting a little rowdy. Waiting for the snap here.
Trips right for the first time for Valdez-Manzanao, looking towards the right, caught and up ahead towards the plus territory, slicing like a surgeon of the heart of Big Fat Bats is number 10 in Felix Boutte. And you can just see he is a Rolls Royce on the football field, how he is able to control it on both sides of the football field.
Yeah, there was that little distraction in the trips of Hovington on that quick out, and as the eyes darted short for that, he was just wide open.
Timeout call as we have 13:58 left on day one of this 5A final here, and if we do a CNN projection right now, it is looking like No Friend Zone will be hosting up that 5A trophy on an A+ effort by them so far tonight.
Yeah, we're closing in on the mercy rule real fast, but then again, it's still the Big Fat Bats' call if they want to end the game early.
And now with 13:44 left here in this second half, slant right, flagging the play intended for Kenville, and now We'll see who this will be against, and this will be against Big Fat Bats. And it just feels like, GM, that they're just a step or two behind anything on either offense or defense of no friend zone.
Yeah, and it's not like Big Fat Bats haven't dealt with adversity before, especially having played this team previously. It's just one team has adjusted better. Like, they had strong outings against the Tokyo Sandblasters, Les Petites Carottes, and Rico Riders, but just no answers here.
And it feels like that no friend zone continue to change the questions when they think they have the answer in this matchup. So with that, they are now inside the red zone once again to put this game away. Valdez Mazzano back, caught, touchdown. 5A championship is now on the fingertips of no friend zone. Peltier in on that on the dagger kill shot. And now a 32-0 lead with 12:44 left here. And a shocking, are you surprised that they scored 32, or the fact we've seen a donut coming in from Big Fat Bats?
I don't know what I'm surprised with at this point. Just the poise and the confidence of the previous game is carrying no friend zone right now. But I didn't think it would be this out of hand for Big Fat Bats, and it's just showing you that this no answers.
11 times he scored 28-plus points in the game. And their lone loss, they scored 18 against Rico Riders, and they'll need more than 28 today. And Peltier will make it a little bit tougher right now. And with 12:44 left here in this ball game, it is now
Out of
all
hand.
5As to lose at this point.
Yeah, it is now out of hand. Just watching, something has to happen. But at this point, you can just play like cover 3 the rest of the game.
I think now no friend zone would like to keep that shutout intact.
I mean,
It's a pride thing, especially in a league like this where your scoring is tailored as being the option one thing to do. Incomplete pass. 11:30 left here. The clock cannot go any faster for Big Fat Bats in this game here.
no, it looks like he may have taken a step. It looks like they're calling that a completion.
Oh, there you go. So it is completed here. And now a slide catch, and this will be for about 3-4 yards. And with 11:10 left in this ball game, I think the MVP will have to go to the pass rusher in Seb Dufour today.
Oh, wow, yeah. Just a strong outing. And difficult to measure. Like, it's not always quantifiable, just the effect that a rusher has. But here, not just the sacks, but just the disruption is huge.
Zapatelli short pass to AJ Zapatelli, and he is taken out by Kenville. Noel in on the support. And this will be first down officially called.
We're seeing a little bit of double moves from the offense here, but still those breaks are all within like the first 5 yards.
Which doesn't do much because
No.
you're just killing more seconds. You need to go bang, bang, point A to point B without the extra point in between that. And
So-
a short pass again.
So
Chese with it.
I think Big Fat Bats are just not that team, and they're unable to come back from this
They
stuff.
don't have that burner.
Yeah.
They don't have that speed burst that they require. They don't have a Kenville, or they don't have
A Lassard,
Dufour.
for
yeah,
one.
a Lassard for that matter, right? The guy that they're looking for, the ace in their back pocket, is not in the back pocket right now. Zapatelli sacked, flagging the play. This might be a hold against the pass rusher Dufour, who
It is.
we think will be the MVP of this game today, with 9:45 left here in this second half. So, like we've seen in past Super Bowls where there's not much to talk about here, GM. There really isn't much to talk about.
Yeah. So congratulations, though, to some of this core. Definitely Hovington and Iggy, who are going to have a double championship this year to add to that list of accolades.
Well, it's a utopian world for them, and we're just living in it right now with 9:20 left in this second half. Zapatelli trying to break the shutout. Rolling to his right, waiting, patience, backing up, pirouetting his way through. Around he goes. Rolling to his left, he's buying time, waiting. Now crossing back over to the right side. He goes east to west. He's taking up a lot of real estate, and that is caught at the goal line, and it'll be short of the touchdown. And the classic line that I like to use with you, GM, he ran 40 yards
Left, east, and west.
east and west, and then he threw it for 5 yards.
I don't know if this is the second or third red zone completion here for Big Fat Bats, but it's not a good look. I mean, at least they're going to hopefully get a touchdown here.
Look, it's been a masterclass effort from the defense. They had every call bang on defense when they get to the red zone, the defense for no friend zone. And with 8:30 left here, Zapatelli looking to ruin the shutout. Short pass, AJ Zapatelli will have ruined that.
Yeah.
And now you have to go for the onside kick here with 8:20 left.
Do you have to go for the onside kick, or you? At this point, I would just skip the convert completely. Either you go for two and go for two each time, or skip the convert and try and maximize how much time you have left.
Well, they're going to go for two here, GM. So they're going to go against our wishes and try to pull off a smash and grab here on a 2-point convert as we're south of 8. Pop fly. AJ Zapatelli flagging the play. Noel in the coverage, and this will be offensive pass interference.
Yeah, this is all but over. The body language too, like it was that 14-0 turnover early on that we said, like, oh, if they would have scored there in the red zone.
Well, they didn't score there.
No, they didn't.
And they didn't score in the first 4 possessions of their journey in this 5A final, and unfortunately they'll come up too little too late here. And we are likely not to see 5 plays especially if this offense for no friend zone does score to make it a 39-6 lead. Not the final that we thought it would be. Many thought this was a game of inches, but right now it's been a game of miles, and the miles has been taken away by this no friends offense. And Peltier going out there, and a great catch after contact, and he will get himself some more yards inside the plus territory with 6:45 left here in this ball game.
Just counting down the clock at this point, getting back into the huddle, letting it drain little by little, just preventing Big Fat Bats from getting the ball back.
So how do you look at the future Iggy Valdez-Manzanato? He's about to win his second championship on day 1 of the FPF Roadshow here. He has grown immensely as a quarterback. And now at 5A, whether, again, spring season's different in terms of the divisions.
We'll be seeing him in C. It remains
sure.
to be seen if he'll also be playing in Division B as well, depending on
Can he play in B in your minds?
I think so, especially seeing the entourage that he has as well. Like, a little bit more depth, like having guys like Boutet, having guys like Canville. Oh, we were saying Canville, like, right there.
It's right on cue.
Yeah. There's enough talent here that you can bolster up between Hovington as well. I think he has the core for a Division B team for sure.
And again, we can't forecast who's in B, but we know the caliber of Division B.
We know the caliber of Division B players, and Iggy is a Division B caliber player. Caneville, Hovington, these guys are all ready for the show.
It'll be a step up in weight class for them. We'll talk about Big Fat Bats and what their future aspirations could be as they now try to get themselves up the ladder here. They will come up empty on this Saturday night from Brossard. Valdez Manzanal using the magician's touch. The trickery match comes through on the Noel catch. And a nice way to end off their campaign in 5A. It's been a long season here, Jim. We started back in January of 8th, I think it was, and now we're April 22nd. It's a long campaign. It's been the longest season for FPF in terms of the winter season that normally goes to mid-April, but this is going to be summed up here with a championship for No Friend Zone. Yeah,
and I think it's not out of the question to see Big Fat Bats back in 5A once again. Like, just this unraveling is not a good look.
Great fingertip catch into the plus territory. And that will put them in the plus territory for the second time in the second half here. Giacomo Donato in on that catch. So let's look at now the Big Fat Bats and their aspirations. Of course, this is a 5A team. This is a team that has gone up the ladder the last couple of seasons here. By this core that they have, they probably won't have Jordan Lessard because he's committed to Laval University and will probably head up to St. Foy in the summertime. Mm-hmm. They have to identify the next speedster that can blow off tops of defense that they go up against in the spring season if they do come back for spring.
Without a doubt. And whether it's just like bolstering their ranks or getting a little bit more comfortable when things don't go their way with the core that they have.
It's a good core. I think the inexperience came into play here. You think about what the construction is for both teams. this Iggy-led team has the wealth of experience, whereas at this point of playing high-level FPF championship games here, whereas for Big Fat Bats, unfortunately, this came up too little too late in the situation.
Yeah, this team had a lot of pick sixes, strong outings on defense, but they were just unable to make anything happen here.
And that is unable to happen for them right there. As I'll tell you on a drop ball, Pelche on the coverage, 3:25 left here as we march along in this game. It's been a monopoly of dominance for No Friend Zone. And for Iggy Valdez-Manzanato, it will be a double championship.
Yeah, adding his name to the list that is ever growing now.
I wonder what he's going to do with the banners that he has accumulated from day one of action here.
I mean, that's going in a garage wall or something.
Do you sleep with it as a blanket? And almost a pick six right there.
Looks like fourth down.
For Boutte, and now we're back in fourth down. Would you sleep with it as a blanket, or is it too cold?
I mean, it wouldn't be my only blanket.
If it's like a 30-degree night.
I think it's more of something that you would fold up and like put under your pillow to kind of like elevate your head a little bit more rather than a blanket.
Which is important to do, by the way, when you sleep.
Very much so.
Yeah, that's what they recommend. And right now, the recommendation for Big Fat Bats is to end off their season on a strong note. Hopefully, score a point or two now, down by a score of 40-6. Batelli now buying time, backing up, launching, cocking, throwing,
that's
incomplete.
Yeah, I think this might be game right here.
And that is indeed. And Pelche was signaling the end of the game, but they'll play it out here. But again, there won't be any 5 plays as we move in towards 2 minutes left in this ball game here. And GM, you've felt it before as a champion, and that feeling is surreal. But to lose, you get this far, and to lose like they did, it's gonna be a bitter taste in the mouth of Big Fat Bats going towards their off season.
Yeah, you have all this promise and like optimism as you're going through your Cinderella run. And then knowing even before the game's over that the game is over is an unsettling feeling, and you'll never want to watch this finals again. You won't want to be reminded of it. It's just awful.
Well, a catch by La Roche to make it a few more yards to his account in this game. It's been a moment of genius. It's been instinctive. It's been desirable. They've been ruthless. They've been clinical. And for No Friend Zone, they're going to be your champions as we move towards the last minute of play. And, of course, there won't be any 5 plays. And for Big Fat Bats, it's a long trip from where they come to the South Shore, and it's going to be a longer trip going home. And a lot of what-ifs. And for Matthew Zapatelli, he's going to have to wonder with that offense how we went 0 for 4 in the first half and nothing happening for them.
This may be the last play.
Pumping. Right side. That is caught. Boutte stopping at the first down marker, and that will do it right there, GM. And we expect that Seb DeFore will be the player of the game, the MVP of this matchup here. And the best feeling is the trophy presentation about to come up in less than 30 seconds from now here from Brossard, Quebec, and a great one-handed catch by Dufour along the sidelines.
Yeah, it looks like there's just enough time for one last play.
A kneel down, maybe? Knowing that's over?
I mean, at this point, is there anyone who hasn't caught a TD yet? Just trying to get the ball.
LaRoche has caught. Noel. Everyone's caught a ball on that offense.
Here it is.
Utter ecstasy. Your 5A champions are No Friend Zone. And for Iggy Valdez-Manzanato, a double dip of FPF glory as his team dominate Big Fat Bats 40-6 and go home with the 5A champion.
Huge. I mean, congratulations to No Friend Zone. It started being a little bit more of a given, and we took the luster off of it, but this is still a major accomplishment. It's also a bit of a curse going 10-0 in the regular season, so good on them to be able to continue their dominance and not fall short here.
And that dominance comes up big for them as they are now the 5A champions, as we'll go to field level here with the trophy presentation coming up right now.
They've just put up 40 points here in a big win in the 5A championship game. So I'm here to present the championship trophy to the captain of the team, Iggy Manzanato Valdez. Congratulations, Division 5A champions. Congrats, Iggy. Okay, guys, we have the championship banner to give as well.
Let's go. Put our name on it, baby.
And last thing to present, finals MVP, Félix Boutet. Félicitations, All right, Félix, difficile, tu as juste joué 2 matchs finales un après l'autre. On perd le premier. Comment tu bounce back immédiatement après pour jouer un match comme tu as joué un deuxième?
Ah, ouais, c'est pas la même équipe. Puis je savais qu'avec eux autres, on allait bien gagner contre eux. Fait que, au moins, je voulais repartir chez nous avec un trophée. Puis là, je pars avec l'MVP. Fait que c'est tant mieux. Let's go.
Super, félicitations. Congrats, guys. Back up to you in the booth. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you very much, Rob, for the presentation here. So wrapping up here, it's complete domination from first play to last play, wire to wire. Incredible performance by No Friend Zone.
Yeah, it tells you why they don't have any friends if they're putting up points like that.
No question. Finally, to wrap it up here, Iggy Valdez Manzanato, double champion. This team we expect to be Division B, Division C, that type of range here. Big Fat Bats as well. This 5A run, unfortunately, came up a little bit short. We thought this would be much more of a heavyweight fight, but it was a first-round knockout by No Friend Zone.
And that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote from here from Brossard, Quebec. Congratulations to No Friend Zone. They win this in rather dominant fashion. A+ box office third that they have. Oscar award-winning, if you want to use that term here. And for Big Fat Bats, they come up a little bit short as a second-place finisher in this matchup. Thank you, Jim, as always. Great job by you. Thank you to our entire staff and crew here. And we'll see you for spring season. Bye for now.